Thank you all for coming out on this blustery December day. Senator David Perdue, Senator Kelly Loeffler, former Governor Sonny Perdue, Congressman Mark Walker, Congressman-elect Byron Donalds, State Senators Burt Jones and Tyler Harper, all my fellow Americans, it is great to be back in the heart of Georgia. And good to be here with so many friends, before me and behind me. And speaking of friends of mine, allow me to bring greetings from another friend of mine, a man who loves the state of Georgia and who will never stop fighting to keep the promises that he made to the people of the Peach State. I bring greetings from the 45th President of the United States of America, President Donald Trump. It's amazing to think about it. With the support of all of you, President Trump received more than 74 million votes across America. 10 million more than 2016, the greatest share of minority votes of a Republican president in 60 years, and we added 12 seats to the United States Congress. And as our election contests continue here in Georgia and in states across the country, I'll make you a promise. We're going to keep fighting until every legal vote is counted. We're going to keep fighting until every illegal vote is thrown out. And we will never stop fighting to make America great again. I'm here because I stand with President Donald Trump. And I'm here because we stand with Senator David Perdue and Senator Kelly Loeffler. Together, we're fighting for free and fair elections. And together, we're fighting to hold the line in the United States Senate. We're fighting to win Georgia and save America. For all we've done, for all we have yet to do, President Trump and I need David Perdue and Kelly Loeffler back in a Republican majority in the United States Senate. Are you with me? We need Georgia to send these two great senators back to a majority in Washington because of who they are, because of all we've accomplished together, and because the Republican Senate majority could be the last line of defense to preserve all we've done, to defend this nation, revive our economy, and preserve the God-given liberties that we hold dear. That's why we need a fourth-generation family farmer who built her own company from the ground up, broke barriers in business and sports to become one of the most successful businesswomen in Georgia. And in a short period of time, I can tell you, she's already emerged as one of the most courageous conservative voices on Capitol Hill. We need Senator Kelly Loeffler back in Washington, D.C. That's also why we need a son of Macon who worked his way to the top of the business world. He spent 40 years as one of the most successful business leaders in America. But through prayer and reflection, he and his family felt the call to serve. They stepped up to serve the great state of Georgia. And I can tell you, having seen him when the cameras are off, President Trump and our administration have no greater champion of the MAGA agenda in Washington, D.C. than Senator David Perdue. So President Trump and I need you to support your senators' re-election because of who they are, but also support them because of everything that we've been able to do together for the state of Georgia and for America. I mean, think about it. 4 years ago, we inherited a military that had been hollowed out by reckless budget cuts, an economy struggling to break out of the worst recovery since the Great Depression. Terrorism was on the rise, and we witnessed a steady assault on our most cherished values. But with the strong and steady support of your two senators, under President Donald Trump, we rebuilt our military. We revived our economy. We secured our border, stood with law enforcement, and fought for life and liberty and the Constitution of the United States of America. You know, I'm your vice president, but the highest title I'll ever hold is DAD. And I couldn't be more grateful as vice president, but also as the father of a United States Marine and the father-in-law of a Navy pilot, to serve alongside a president who cares so deeply about our armed forces. And with the strong support of Senator David Perdue on the Armed Services Committee, we've signed the largest increases in our national defense since the days of Ronald Reagan. We're giving our soldiers, sailors, airmen, Marines, and Coast Guard the support they need to defend our nation. Thank you, Senator. You know, the last administration also saw years of scandal at the VA, remember? It shocked the conscience of the nation. When President Trump came into office with the help of your two senators, those days are over. From her seat on the Veterans Affairs Committee, Senator Kelly Loeffler was there supporting our veterans every step of the way. We signed the most sweeping reforms in 50 years. We fired 5,000 VA employees that weren't giving our veterans the care they deserve. And Veterans Choice is now available for every veteran in America. Thank you, Senator Loeffler. And after the slowest recovery in 75 years, President Trump revived our economy. With the support of Georgia's senators, we cut taxes across the board. We rolled back regulations at a record level. We fought for free and fair trade, unleashed American energy, and in 3 short years, we saw American businesses create 7 million good-paying jobs, including 350,000 jobs right here in the Peach State. And your senators were there every step of the way. It was a blue-collar boom in those first 3 years, in Georgia and all across America. And then the coronavirus pandemic struck from China. With the support of these leaders and the leadership of our president, we launched the largest national mobilization since World War II. We reinvented testing. We saw the delivery of billions of medical supplies. We secured trillions of dollars in support for families and businesses to make their way through this difficult time. And we've developed new medicines that are saving lives every day. It's amazing to think at the height of this pandemic, we lost 22 million American jobs. But because of the strong foundation that we poured with this president and Georgia's senators, we've already seen 12 million Americans go back to work. We're opening up America again. Maybe most of all, in this season of hope, while the other side said it couldn't be done by the end of the year, this week the American people witnessed promises made and promises kept. Under Operation Warp Speed, we made history this week with the first coronavirus vaccine for the American people, and it's being administered all across the country. And David Perdue and Kelly Loeffler were there every step of the way throughout this challenging year, and we couldn't be more grateful. And finally, when it comes to the rule of law and our most cherished liberties, I couldn't be more proud to report to you that with their support and this president's leadership, we've already seen more than 220 conservatives appointed to our federal courts at every level, and they are all principled men and women who will uphold the God-given liberties in our Constitution, like the freedom of religion, the freedom of speech, and the Second Amendment right to keep and bear arms. And remember, the president nominates to the federal courts, but it's the senators that confirm. None of that would have been possible without the strong and consistent support of Senator David Perdue and Senator Kelly Loeffler. In fact, Georgia senators were there when we confirmed 3 justices to the Supreme Court, including Justice Neil Gorsuch, Justice Brett Kavanaugh, and Justice Amy Coney Barrett. You know, under the last administration, you all remember our values and our freedoms were under steady assault. The last administration trampled on the religious liberty of Americans on a regular basis, compromised the conscience rights of doctors and nurses and religious charities. They even hauled a group of nuns known as the Little Sisters of the Poor into federal court to order them to compromise their faith, to live under the standards of Obamacare. And we saw that religious intolerance among Democrats a couple of years ago when Amy Coney Barrett was going before the Judiciary Committee. You remember? The Democrat leader of that committee actually said she was concerned about Amy Coney Barrett's Christian faith, because she said, quote, "The dogma lives loudly within you." And Hollywood liberals have been attacking Amy Coney Barrett ever since. Well, I got a message for the Democrats in Washington, D.C. and their friends in Hollywood. That dogma lives loudly in me. That dogma lives loudly in you. And the right to live and worship according to the dictates of our faith lives loudly in the Constitution of the United States of America. So for our liberties, for our freedoms, we need Senator David Perdue and Senator Kelly Loeffler back in the United States Senate. You know, I think you all know, especially the hardy bunch gathered out here today, the stakes in this election have never been higher. Its choice has never been clearer. Where David Perdue and Kelly Loeffler stand for a strong national defense, John Ossoff and Raphael Warnock are going to cut our national defense to fund their big government programs. You just watch. Where David Perdue and Kelly Loeffler cut taxes, John Ossoff and Raphael Warnock want to raise taxes on working families and businesses all across the state of Georgia. In fact, Raphael Warnock was caught on tape saying that members of the Senate were gangsters and thugs just for passing a tax cut for the people of Georgia. And where David Perdue and Kelly Loeffler support our military and our most cherished ally, radical liberal Raphael Warnock has demeaned our military and repeatedly defended the anti-Semitic rhetoric of Reverend Jeremiah Wright. In fact, Raphael Warnock called our most cherished ally, Israel, an apartheid state. But with the strong support of Kelly Loeffler and David Perdue, America stands with Israel. And President Trump moved the American embassy to Jerusalem, the capital. And where John Ossoff and Raphael Warnock support abortion on demand and support taxpayer funding of abortion all the way up to the moment of birth, David Perdue and Kelly Loeffler stand for the right to life. You all know what the stakes are. Our liberties, our most cherished values, our prosperity, our security. But Chuck Schumer probably put it best. He said the other day, he said, quote, "Now we take Georgia, then we change America." Well, I got news for Chuck Schumer and the Washington Democrats. We're going to keep Georgia. We're going to save the Senate, and then we're going to save America. You know, I saw Joe Biden was in Atlanta this week. He gave a little speech. But he said in that speech, did you hear some of it? He said in that speech that Georgia doesn't need 2 senators that are, quote, just going to get in the way. Well, Georgia, that's exactly what we need in the United States Senate. We need Senator David Perdue and Senator Kelly Loeffler to get in the way of their radical left agenda. We need David Perdue and Kelly Loeffler to get in the way of higher taxes, open borders, socialized medicine, and the Green New Deal. We need two senators that will get in the way of the radical agenda of the Democratic Party and fight for Georgia every single day. We need people across this state to say no to Ossoff and Warnock and yes to David Perdue and Kelly Loeffler on January 5. So I came here today to say stay in the fight. And I don't think I need to tell this bunch that. Coming out on a cold and blustery day. Give yourselves a round of applause. Doggone it, I'm so proud of everybody being out. Really honored you're here. But stay in the fight. Stay in the fight for free and fair and honest elections in Georgia and all across America. Stay in the fight to defend the Republican majority in the Senate. Until the polls close on January 5th, stay in the fight to send David Perdue and Kelly Loeffler back to Washington, D.C. We need them there to keep America safe. That really is what's on the line. To preserve the progress we've made, to protect our values and our liberties. We need you to vote, Georgia. Vote to send David Perdue and Kelly Loeffler back to the United States Senate. That's it. That's what it's going to take. And I can tell from the determination on all of your faces that you know what it's going to take from each one of us. But I want to encourage you to get out and exercise that vote. Do it as soon as you can. You can actually request an absentee ballot today. If you need information, go to georgiavotinginfo.com. They'll give you everything you need. You can request it till December 31st. And I want you to be confident about your vote. Our great state chairman, David Schaefer, and the senators will tell you, we're on them this time. We're watching. We're going to secure the ballots. We're going to secure the drop boxes. And we're going to make sure that every absentee ballot is counted for the people of Georgia. So don't wait. Request that ballot and vote today. And if you don't want to vote by mail, I'm told in-person voting has already started too. We're going to keep standing strong. We're going to keep fighting, I promise you. But we need you to get out and vote in this one, folks. And if you want to vote in person, I checked on my way in. Just go down to Macon Bibb County Board of Elections office, 2525 Pio Nono Avenue, right across the street from the Krispy Kreme. It's open 8:30 to 5:30 tomorrow. And remember, friends don't let friends vote alone. Bring a family member, bring a neighbor, and vote to send Kelly Loeffler and David Perdue back to Washington, D.C. Now, I know we've all got our doubts about the last election. And I actually hear some people saying, just don't vote. But folks, just remember, if you don't vote, they win. If you don't vote, there could be nothing standing in the way of Chuck Schumer and Nancy Pelosi cutting our military, raising taxes, and passing the agenda of the radical left. So for all we've done, and for all we have yet to do, for our president, for our future, for Georgia, and for America, cast another vote for all that President Trump has accomplished. Cast a vote to send David Perdue and Kelly Loeffler back to the United States Senate. And I promise you we'll keep fighting every day. We can fight for our president, and we can fight for more Republicans in the United States Senate. We've been doing both, and we're going to keep doing both. And we're never going to stop fighting to make America great again. That's my promise to everyone. So here's the deal. But here's the deal, folks. There you go. It's about the USA. It's about everything we hold dear. Here's the deal, Georgia. It might all come down to you. We need Georgia to hold the line on January 5. Are you up for it? You going to do it? I got a feeling, looking at all of you out here today and those gathered behind me, that we got a great day coming on January 5. We got a great victory coming, because I have faith. I have faith in each and every one of you. You're going to get out there. You're going to cast a vote. You're going to find a neighbor and a friend. You're going to speak out every day. We come into this very special time of the year. I want you to make sure your family members and your neighbors and your friends know just how important this election is. The eyes of America are on Georgia. The people who share our values and our ideals are looking to the people of Georgia to hold the line. And I believe with all my heart that you will. And lastly, as you prepare to vote, to speak out, to do all you can to send these two great senators back to Washington, D.C. If you're inclined to do one more thing, I'd encourage you to do it. If from time to time you bow the head and bend the knee, I'd encourage you to do that too. You know, we don't know what the future holds, but we know who holds the future. And so as we work for free and fair elections, as we work to save the majority, let's go to that wellspring of strength that is always seeing the American people and the people of this state through much more challenging times. It's a good time to remember to pray. And when you pray, pray with the confidence of those ancient words, that if his people who are called by his name will humble themselves and pray and turn, you can be confident that he'll do like he's always done in the long and storied history of this country. He'll hear from heaven, and he'll heal this land. This one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. So pray for America. Pray for all the people of America. And I just know if all of us do all that we need to do, all across this great state, all across this country, Georgia steps up to hold the line. Georgia steps up to vote your values and your convictions, to vote to send David Perdue and Kelly Loeffler back to a Republican majority in the Senate. If we stand with our president to ensure that every legal vote is counted, that with the support of the people across this state and with God's help, we're going to keep on winning. We're going to defend the Senate. We're going to win Georgia. We're going to save America. And we're going to keep making America great again. So let's go get it done, Georgia.